Hey guys, and welcome back to the Divine Witch. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I know myself I am, but I've seen how, with the planets and everything going on currently within our world, it can be very hard if you're not grounding yourself regularly or cleansing as you should be. But today we are going to go over 5 things that I would suggest for any witch to be doing. Now, I'm going to make a little disclaimer. This is my personal thoughts, opinions, and views. Whether or not it feels right to you or you just don't see it, that's up to you. Always follow your intuition when it comes to things like that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share. Let's see. Zoom launch. No, that's not winning. I always find it confusing on which I should be sharing, so let's see if this works. Alright, so we're going to go here into our presentation. 5 things that you should reconsider. And this is, like I said, advice from myself. This is what I personally tell others as well that I'm teaching. And let's go ahead and dive deep into this. Now, sharing your altar on the internet. Many of us have done it. I am guilty of it. And it's one of those things where, you have your seasonal altar, you're changing it around, and your seasonal altar may be your actual full-time altar that you're using. You want to share it with those in your community or share it online, within other witch communities that maybe they're not around you and things like that. But one thing that we got to remember when we're talking about sharing our altar, you're sharing your personal space. And as we all know, you can use pictures within your spell work. And let's say you have your altar there, someone sees your altar, maybe they don't like you for whatever reason, or just feeling like they want to create some chaos in someone's life randomly, then they can use your picture to do so. The pictures that you are going to see in this presentation, I just got from a simple Google search. So these obviously are not in my home as well. So just be careful when you're posting. It's one thing if you're doing it with coven members and people that you've known for years and years down the road. But when you're dealing with people that you do not know, it gets kind of dangerous because you never know what anybody's intent is really. So just kind of keep that in mind. And that would be my first tip for any witch. You'll see a lot of people doing different spell works and things like that online. If you ever see anything that I have here online and you see me with an altar, that is not a, what's the word I'm looking for? That's not an altar that I have around all the time. It's a temporary altar just for that video. And afterwards, everything gets cleansed, things get moved around. So you can't access that portal because that portal doesn't really exist. It did at one time, but it no longer is there. Because that's pretty much what your altar is when you're working with it. Your altar is like a portal. It's like a gateway between you, your spiritual work, your deities, your magic. So when you're taking a photo of that or a video, you're sharing your space. You're sharing your location, you're sharing your magic, and you're sharing an access into your home. That's why I bring this up. Now, sharing or showing others your book of shadows. Now, I've done this, and it's mostly common in covens for other members to share things from their book of shadows or to show their trusted witches the book of shadows. And in these cases, if that's the deal, then this is not for you. But we do tend, and I know I can speak from personal experience when I was a baby witch, I had this thing of wanting to show everyone what was in my book of shadows or my grimoires or anything that pertained to my magical path. And the older I get, the more I realize, like, I'm literally giving somebody a guidebook to what I know. And the dangerous thing about that is you never know someone's true intent. And it's not to cause anybody who watches this to think, oh no, bad and this and that. But, as witches, we know the universe, we know how it works, and see it like this. If you were running a business, would you give all of your secrets away to somebody? No. The same thing goes when it comes to your practice. It is your practice. It is your personal experience. And unless you have deep-rooted trust within the person that you're with witches that you surround yourself, this is one of those things that you want to keep to yourself, especially when you get into your grimoires, where you start going in depth about your spell work and what happened and who you've communicated with, what signs you've got, things like that. Because you never know that the signs that you're getting might be about the person that's actually reading what you're giving to them. So just take a heed of caution when you're doing it. That's my personal advice to everybody out there. Now, posting your spell work. Now, a lot of the times, the spells that you'll see online, they'll say they're for customers. Some may be. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone that posts on YouTube or on any other platform. But when you're doing your spell work, it's very personal. It can be personal between you, your coven, a few witchy friends, whatever it is, no matter what you're doing. And the goal of spell work is normally to achieve something. So when you're posting your spell work out there, you don't know, once again, who likes you, who doesn't like you, who may be going, what the hell, when they look at it. And believe it or not, even when you get those what the H moments, right, and they're looking at it, they're putting a certain energy towards whatever spell work you're doing. And then your spell work starts getting that energy. So instead of it being hidden in the shadows doing its thing like it needs to be doing, now you got other people who have nothing to do with it or may have something to do with it interjecting into your spell work. Another thing I'll see common besides posting is people talking about their spell work, talking about what they did, talking about things that they're trying to attract into their life. Once again, you're not always going to know who is going to be your knight or who's going to be a pawn. You never know who's going to stay. You never know who's going to go. And by you putting out what you're doing, like if it's something love and light, that's fine, whatever. I mean, it's at your own discretion. But when it starts coming to your deep-rooted spiritual work, unless you're connected with these people, you have a strong bond that has been built over years and years, and you can trust them, there's never been a doubt in your mind, do not share your spell work with anybody. It is a personal experience. You can talk about things that's happened if you'd like to with, hey, I was doing the spell, this went on, it was crazy, whatever it may be. But to actually tell people what the actual spell was, that gives them ability to come in and actually mess with your spell work, along with when you're posting it also online. So that would be, another word of advice I would personally give, that I am personally practicing currently myself. Now, this one, like I said, for many of these, it really depends on your perspective and who you have in your circle, whether or not you trust them, whether or not they're someone new or someone you've known for a while, someone that, you care about, or someone that you're suspicious about. When it comes to anything to do with your craft, if you can't trust that person as far as you can throw them, do not let them use your tools. Do not let them wear your amulets. Do not give them a crystal that you expect back, because you're going to get that energy. And especially if you don't know what kind of magic they're working, you don't need that. Now, some can argue you can cleanse, you can cleanse your items. That is true. You can cleanse your items. But cleansing an item from negative energy is one thing. But banishing something from an item is another. And here's what I mean by that. You can cleanse every day until you're blue in the face and you're dropped on the floor. But if it's got something that's in it that was placed in it for whatever reason it may be, a simple cleansing is not going to get rid of it. The energy is still going to be there. And even before you do that cleansing, unless you do it outside, away from your home and away from, where you reside, that item itself is going to contain that energy. When you go to cleanse that, you're going to get that energy on you. Or if you cleanse it in your home, you're going to get that energy in your home. Now, if you're working with a coven, you have a shared altar, that's a total different thing, because both the energies at that point are the same. If you have coven tools that you work with, and those are your normal day, everyday, ritual tools, but you also use them in your coven, that's another thing. By that point, you should have already established, what you work with, who you all are. Hopefully, you know who the people you are in a coven with, so you can make sure your energies match, and that shouldn't be an issue. But this is something that isn't really talked about as much, and it really should be, because we have a lot of shops out there who may put certain things out, have it set up like an altar. I know some places will have, like, write your prayer request and we'll put it in. And me personally, I've never been a fan of those, because I never really truly know if what I'm putting out there is actually going to be a blessing or if it's going to be a curse. If I want to do a petition, I'll do a petition in my coven, I'll do a petition in my group, or I'll do it myself. That's just my personal experience. I'm not saying people do that. I'm just saying I'm a little bit paranoid when it comes to me and my practice. And it saved me pretty much this far. Mojo bags. All right. Give me 1 minute. So when we're talking about mojo bags, y'all got to stop telling people what you got in them. You got to stop showing them to everybody and being like, look what I got. That is not what a mojo bag is for. A mojo bag is supposed to be on you. It's supposed to be hidden. And if it becomes seen, or someone sees it, or they get knowledge of your spell work, you have to redo that whole mojo bag. And I guarantee right now, some of you all ain't even doing that. You're just thinking, oh, it's a mojo bag, it's going to bring me good mojo. But I guarantee you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with that mojo bag. Anybody that knows the history of mojo bags knows that you're supposed to keep it on you, hidden, and no one's supposed to know about it. You're also supposed to feed your mojo bags. I bring this up because I don't know how many times I've seen, no offense to my men out there, but I've seen you guys wear them on them little strings, leather strings around your neck, and then you've got your little button-down shirt open, and you're exposing it to the whole world, and then calling it a mojo bag. It is not a mojo bag. By the way, this picture I got is somewhat of a mojo bag, but it's like got a ring on it or whatever. I don't know, something I found on Google, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about when I start getting into mojo bags. Now, this goes with anything. If you're going to do something in a practice, I mean, make it yours, do what you want to do. That's what it's all about, and having fun with it and following your path to spirituality. But if you ain't going to follow the basics from where it came from and at least acknowledge that history and what could happen, and appeasing, because when you use a mojo bag, you're creating a spirit within your energy. It's like when you walk into someone's house, they're always negative. They have a poltergeist. That's created by negative energy that it's feeding off of, and it's became a manifestation within itself. Same thing goes for when you're dealing with mojo bags. You're putting that energy forth. You're attracting a spirit into it, and you got to appease that spirit. Spirits don't like to be seen. They like to be hidden and doing their work. So whenever you're doing this, please make sure that you don't tell people about your mojo bags. Keep your mojo bags hidden, preferably underneath your clothes. Put them in your bra, put them in your pants. I don't care where you put it. Just keep it hidden and stop telling people you got mojo bags. Now, guys, this is my advice. Like I said, it's my personal experience. And as you can tell by the end, I kind of got a little bit heated on it. But I'm going to stop sharing that. But like I'm saying, It's your own practice. These are the things that I've learned in my path and my reading, my research, and I'm continuously learning as I go on. There's not one right way or one wrong way, but to me, in my path and what I think, I'm putting it out there because this is my page, right? I'm going to tell you what I know, my experience, my thoughts, and what I've learned on my path. It may be different than Mike and Josie's, but it's still my path. So, with that being in mind, stay calm, stay happy. Don't let negativity feed into your life. And always remember to ground yourself. And always remember no two witches, witch the same. With that being said, I wish you guys well. Until next time.